the middle is not working, apparently. I'm not sure if there's an appetite for that, for a lot of people. I don't know either, and I just think that they've lost their, super enthusiastic lefty bent, and their efforts to be just a legitimate news outlet. Well, they're still left enough. I mean, they can't help themselves. They're all lefties. It's still obnoxious for conservatives to watch, and they've lost the super enthusiastic, own the conservatives crowd. Right. And, once you've established yourself as something, it's kind of hard to pivot at that point. I was watching Meet the Press yesterday. They ran through some of the polling, and the thing that stuck out to me the most was Biden's approval rating on handling of Ukraine is disapproved 50%. So he's now half disapproved, approved 41%, which is surprising to me. This is the idea that Americans' enthusiasm for supporting Ukraine is dropping. It's now about 50-50 on providing more funding and weapons to Ukraine. It was solidly up around 70, then down around 60. It's now 50-50. Not exactly sure why, just fatigue, tired of the story, I have no idea. But yeah, that seems odd, since anybody with any realistic bent would have known from the beginning this is going to be a tough one and a long one. You know how people are. It's like a TV show, and hey, this didn't have a satisfying ending. And then the most amazing thing that stuck out to me is that the right track, wrong track, we have been high on the wrong track, around like 3/4 of people saying that America's on the wrong track, for the longest period that has ever been in the history of the poll. Again, that might fit in a little bit to the whole CNN's ratings thing, to where you're going to have half the country always think we're on the wrong track, depending on who's in the White House. I think in our current political mood. Yeah, there's that, and it's just been a hell of a string of years. I mean, you remember 2020, worst year ever. 2021's going to be better than that, etc., etc. Right. But I feel like we're about to turn a corner. I'm feeling very positive myself. If you missed an hour of the show, the podcast are strong and getting on demand. Did you know 1 in 4 vet visits involve skin and coat issues? And 70% of your pet's immune system is based in their gut. Dinovite nutritional supplement has key nutrients for your pet's digestive tract, skin and coat, and immune system for an all-around healthier. Get a free probiotics booster with your purchase of Dinovite for dogs by using code DOG at dinovite.com. Happier and healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Tax Network, Tax Network USA. If you have a tax debt, big or small, unfiled returns, we'll file them all. Don't waive your rights, we'll fight for you. Saving money on your taxes, that's all we do. Settle your back taxes now with Tax Network USA. Your tax bill. Call now for your free consultation. Call 1-800-245-6000. That's 1-800-245-6000. 1-800-245-6000. Talk Radio 5 KSFO, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose. A Cumulus media station. We'll take a look at KSFO traffic.
Stopping your traffic in Livermore, 580 westbound at North Livermore Avenue. It's 3 vehicles on the scene. Looks like there might be some debris in that second lane from the left. We also have some stop and go. The Dumbarton Bridge, 84 eastbound, between the Dumbarton Bridge Fremont end and the Toll Plaza. Right lane is open until 2 p.m. Caltrans is doing some repairs. That's traffic. I'm Katie Green.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle. My company is Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to provide custom blinds, shades, and shutters at affordable prices. Our blinds are easy to install and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive professional. Do yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
This report is sponsored by 3-Dimensional Wealth. Join Doug Andrew of 3-Dimensional Wealth as he teaches free workshops in Morgan Hill, Palo Alto, Dublin, Alamo, and Sacramento, Wednesday, November 9th through Friday the 11th. Call now for details and to register 1-888-73-RADIO.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a physician, and I and so I tell my patients about this, and they ask me, what do
you taking it? So I tell them, taking Balance of Nature. And they go, oh yeah, I've heard about that. You know, so I tell them how to get it. I give them your telephone number, 246-8751, and I tell them, call this number, and I say, they'll take care of you after that. So, you know, I mean, I really think that it works well for people to have fruits and vegetables.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature right now. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com for more information or to is always free. And don't forget to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code KSFO.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you. Schedule an appointment with one San Francisco area attorneys, 650-389-1111. Online at CordellCordell.com. 951 Mariners Island Boulevard, Suite 300, San Mateo, California, 94404.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refunds with TaxSlayer. Traveling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
Oh, cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File for free with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
West Coast Men's Health gets real results for men who suffer from erectile. Our patients are off Viagra and have told us they feel 20 years younger. And right now, we're offering a free treatment just for coming in. Call West Coast Men's Health today and to the younger you.
With clinics in San Mateo and Sacramento, call 650-649-7944. That's 650-649-7944. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Are you looking for a safer way to invest? The Freedom Fund at Pacific Private Money offers flexible investing opportunities. I'm Mark Hanf, CEO of Pacific Private Money, and I invite you to hear what Tim has to say about our Freedom Fund.
Pacific Private Money provides my ideal balance of security and liquidity, giving me steady monthly income and a profitable RA, backed by solid real estate holdings. The Freedom Fund earns nearly 7 times the return available from the best bank savings account and my money as needed. I personally prefer investing with a trustworthy company backed by real estate than the volatile upsets of the stock market.
You too can be earning consistent returns on your savings or retirement accounts. Give us a call to learn more. 415-926-4444. 926-4444. Or visit us at pacificprivatemoney.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jelly. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of you.
Be a teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit Adopt US Kids. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council. The 67 minutes of footage shows several angles officers used toward Nichols, repeatedly kicking him, punching him in the face while his hands are in handcuffs behind his back, and him with a baton. 5 officers beat him for nearly 3 on scene, but it takes roughly 20 minutes before any with medical attention or aid. 3 days later, Nichols died at the hospital.
So you watched the video I did. This is from a horrifying thing in Memphis, and 5. Yeah, that's correct. But you say a whole bunch of other people milling around that didn't do a whole lot either. So once the violence was over and the victim was are frequently slumping over unconscious. There was no there's no aid rendered to him for quite some time. So how come I haven't heard more about that? Seems like they suspended a couple of first responders too, but yeah, they're looking into that too. God dang it. So we talked about this earlier, and got into more of the details, but I'm just thinking, is there a possibility that this is something society can't do much better than? Is that a possibility? No, absolutely. No, there are other countries that have much different policing than we do, for instance. Okay. I hear that you seem to think that. But, because my take on this is that this was going on a lot more before people had cell phones they could whip out and get a video of it, or body cam footage, and you just and we all know from the way these officers responded afterwards when they were asked questions, they were lying to cover up people that weren't even as involved, were lying to cover up the people that were involved. So how often does this happen? And was happening for years. We don't know, but apparently a lot more. I just wonder, because it's a tough job, you become apparently you become a cop, or as a first responder of any kind, because you deal with so much more of that than most of our human brains have to. Yeah. Well, before we go broader on the discussion, just a couple of thoughts on what is in those videos. Number one, close to the show, who's had a career in the justice system. Those cops got virtually everything wrong, including when they first apprehended Mr. Nichols. With everybody hands-on, very close environment, so all the cops reeled away, having been pepper sprayed by one of their own. And that's when Nichols got up and ran away, and that's when he was apprehended a second time, was when the terrible. So it was just miserable lack of the execution of training. And then the brutality of the video is unmistakable, unforgivable, astounding in its lack of humanity, nobody interceding. Beating a man as hard as a large grown man can, while that first man is restrained with his hands behind his back. Smashing him in the head, in the face as hard as they possibly can, over and over. As I said earlier in the show, anybody concerned that this guy might be dying?
No, and interestingly enough, there wasn't even like a selfish concern. Hey, if that dude dies, we're all screwed. So try and see how he's doing. Nothing. That is so wild.
And you don't get there overnight. You have to get there little by little over a long period of time, don't you?
Yeah.
For most people. God dang it, that is brutal. So you think we can do a better job as a society than that? But that's just not
long, slow process. Cops know. All cops know. If we go crazy wailing on this guy, it's going to be seen, and we're going to have to answer for it. And then truly brutal beating or, active participants in holding the guy back or whatever, or restraining him, they'll think, my kids are going to grow up without a daddy for the next 15 years if I don't stop this guy from beating the guy. So I'm going to stop him.
Yeah, I think that's the people that we got to be able to reach, or probably can reach. I can reach the guy, looking for the opportunity to punish somebody for whatever reason in his psyche, and he decided to get into being a cop. But the person who wants to be a cop and is willing to stand and watch that happen and then lie about it, maybe we can reach that person. Like you just said, not only is your career going to be over, you're going to go to prison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and to be more charitable to the cop. But you can just lose your ass sometimes when you're under an enormous amount of pressure. Somebody kicks you in your junk or whatever, puts a thumb in your eye, you lose your ass. But your comrades have to be there to pull you off the guy. Right. And then what's with the first getting there? Not immediately. There's a person hurt. Our job is to go make sure they're okay. No, their job was to take a look at the guy, then mill around doing nothing for quite some time. Because they showed up thinking some scumbag, I'm sure, deserved it. I mean, I can't imagine what else they would be thinking. Something like that, probably. I don't know. But I can't read minds, that's a guess. But that was the feel of it, having watched it. The one guy, at one point, the victim, Mr. Nichols, is slumped over, semi-conscious on the street. And the guy propped him back up on the car, and he said, sit up, brother, sit up. You're going to be all right, sit up. But then they went back to ignoring him. He might not have said you're going to be all right, but there was tenderness in his voice. He was trying to at least, comfort the guy a little bit. But then they went back to just milling around. It was very strange.
Yeah, and I saw, a couple of conversations on the various shows. This has been true for quite some time. The whole idea of bad cops getting fired and then they get hired by a different police department in the next county over, the different town over. That happens all the time, all around the country. We got to get away from that somehow.
Yeah, I heard one suggestion that Memphis was very loose in their hiring of cops recently because they were trying to, achieve various goals, but I haven't looked into that. I don't want to repeat it on the air. I had one more thought I wanted to... it's one of the bedrock principles of conservatism. Often your lefty-type people think that if we just lecture mankind enough, we can perfect mankind and everybody will come around. And conservatives believe human nature hasn't changed in 1,000 years. You have to have incentives and disincentives. You have to have disincentives so strong that they will get everybody but the most awful to cooperate. If they're so awful they won't cooperate even in the face of, say, a life term in prison, well, then you put them in prison for their life. You just have to have repercussions. And it could be that the starting point for reforming police culture, the part of it needs reforming. Because for the millionth time, there are a lot of great cops, and thank God for them. But that part of policing culture that needs to be reformed, it could be the starting point is, hey, you will face. You can't get away with this stuff anymore.
Well, you also have the dynamic of law and order is generally a Republican/conservative thing, and I don't use those words interchangeably.